welcome to the Frack and Friends show. This episode is a crazy, amazing, all-out 80s special edition of the Frack and Friends show. I think she's our very first 80s guest because we're all about the 90s and 2000s. But growing up in the 90s, Tiffany was my 90s, one of my 90s idols, I guess you can say, in music. So, Denise, what is your most biggest memory about Tiffany?
Honestly, her fashion, the
Mhm.
the iconic fashion, the jean jackets. I should have freaking worn my jean jacket, to be honest with you, but she was a fashion icon for me growing up as a kind of early 90s kid. Tiffany was still very much a part of my childhood growing up too. So I'm super excited. Let's get her on.
Let's bring her on. Ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, what a dream come true right
Well,
now.
thank you for having me. Thank you.
Miss Tiffany, or should I call you Tiffany?
Just call me Tiff,
All right.
Tiffany.
I like
Yeah.
Tiff. Tiff has a good
Awesome.
ring. It
Let's
means
do
we're
it.
like, it's like friends, right? You know?
Yes. I love
So,
it.
okay, Tiff. So, first of all, congratulations being, 35 years ago when I Think We're Alone went number one.
Well, thank you. I know it doesn't seem like that. It's just the song continues to have its own little life form, which I love, from commercials to series and different TV programs. I mean, on and on and on and on. And of course, we rock it every live show, and it just makes people feel good. So I'm forever grateful for the beginning, and loving I Think We're Alone now. Funny enough, because I didn't want to sing the song originally. I didn't want to record
Wow.
it.
Come
So
on.
I
I'm
feel
glad
like
I
that happens
did.
every time.
It's always
Yeah.
the ones that you least like or even expect to kind of move a
Yeah.
mountain.
I just when I was actually recording, I kind of saw myself with a little bit more even rock edge then. And here
Wow.
this dance, it wasn't even dance when it was presented to me. It was the old school Tommy James and the Shondells version, which I
Yeah,
Yes.
love, of course,
Yes.
but
of
I hadn't
course.
heard before. And it was all children behave. And I was like, oh my, what is happening here? So yeah, it took me a while to warm up to the song,
I bet.
but I
I
do
bet.
love it.
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. I've been listening to it for a very long time. It's so, I mean, not 35 years, but I'm just about 30 years old. But I remember it was probably, if I had to guess, maybe 96, 95, going back to where I can start remembering music. And of course,
Right.
my dad taught me just about everything when it comes to music, and just being appreciative of, the classics or the good stuff, and from
Right.
the 50s to the 80s, and you definitely fit that category in every way.
Well, thank you. No, I mean, I think, I mean, even now, it's like my goddaughters, or, the
Oh,
different people that I'm influencing, just always listen to a lot of different styles of music. I was embarrassed by it as a kid, though, because I'd always have my friend go up to the counter, back in the mall before I was rocking the mall. I went and shopped malls, and that's where you really hung out. So I would have like Ozzy and Barbara Streisand and
oh,
Yes.
James
Yes.
Taylor, and then like somebody else, because I was always interested in just album covers, really. And I would buy random. They had like the bins,
oh
that you'd
yeah.
go
Yes.
through, and I'd be like, I'll take this one. I don't know what it is. But and my friend was always like, "Why are you so embarrassed?" And I was like, "Because high school, you're supposed to be something, if you will." But
It's
in
true.
music, I was a little bit of everything. I was learning. I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved it. It was different cultures, and I've always been like that. Even in high school, I love different people. So, now my music being successful has led to me being able to go all over the world, meet different
Yeah.
people, different mindsets. Now with the food, Let's Food with Tiffany, which I'm cooking, that's like a whole
Yes.
extension of that. So full circle, really, which is really
Wow.
cool. So 35 years, yeah, but I think we're just really tapping into stuff now
Yeah.
that is, I don't want to say like the true tip, but the
Mhm.
progression of all of that early experiences. And now I'm really applying them, which is kind of cool. I love it.
Wow.
I personally love how you're finding yourself, basically. I mean, you know, what we know from 80s Tiffany is kind of what, you know, everybody was around back then, and
Yep.
now finding your own space and doing this food stuff. I was on the Instagram of it, and I was drooling because
Oh.
everything looks so delicious.
Thank you. I love it. I know my kitchen now. I'm like, I have to upgrade my kitchen.
Ooh.
Excuse that, but it's true. Because it is really like my second career now. I mean, the food and music experience next year will go hand in hand. TIFF
Oh, yes.
takeovers, where you can have a little bit of a shadows acoustic, and have some rock tales and Let's Food with Tiffany. My cooking will actually be out there. People will be tasting the food. I'll be
Oh,
hosting.
man.
So that's up and coming, as well as, the Shadows Tour, full band, better production, screens, the whole nine yard. We've zhuzhed it up. So I'm really excited to like bring that to next year. We're planning now. So it's already in my head. It's all like already
Yeah.
happening. But I just have to take in first that, we're finally releasing the album, because that's been something that's been on the back burner. Yes, we're going. No, we're not. Yes, we're going. So
Oh,
finally to
yeah.
be in that mode. I Like the Rain, the new single out right now,
Yes.
and rocking it, and people getting to
Edgy.
know what the sound of the album is going to sound like. It's a little punk pop fun,
Yeah.
with a rock edge to it, modern day production, and a little Tiffany mixed in there. So
And,
I love it. It's a lot of fun.
you seriously, especially for that song right there, you sound wonderful. I
Thank
mean,
you.
I've been listening to it for a little while, but you just sound incredible. I was telling my girlfriend today, I said, she was like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "It's Tiffany." Like, how do you not know this
You're
sound?
like, what?
Which she and I were able to see you for the New Kids on the Block tour for the
Oh,
mixtape,
thank you. That was a
and
lot of fun.
you were magnificent. It was, and I'm sure you probably remember this, but it was the New Orleans show. It was the fourth date, and you were so sick.
I was so sick. I
You were
felt it
so
coming
sick.
on a little bit throughout the day, but then I took medicine and it like felt much better.
Yeah.
But then, that like just when stuff attacks your throat, forget about it.
Forget about it.
It's an ongoing thing. So, that was
But
like,
the beauty of it, like I was telling my girlfriend and the people next to us, I remember I said, she's not lip syncing. Like
no,
and that's when I fell in love with you. Like in person, I said,
no,
this is
I'm not.
amazing. Amazing. I mean, I was just so excited. I was like a kid in a candy store,
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, again, Let's Feed with Tiffany kind of it saves my ass, if you will, a lot of
Yeah.
times too, because I get to like live it out on the road, and people get to see what I'm eating. And it's not that
Mm.
I'm eating everything perfect, but I quickly learned that being on the road is taxing from your system.
I'm sure it's
And
strenuous
it's
work. Oh my
like
gosh.
also it's like I can't eat just processed food.
Yeah.
Go on and on and on and on and on. But now, like, I'm cooking for myself, and my immunity is so much better,
Yes.
because that's the death of a vocalist. If you get sick, everything, that's it. What do you do?
Yep.
So that was, it just can't happen. I panic. I
Oh.
panic if people are, but if you have a good immunity and you're really resting, and like some old school stuff there, like,
Yeah.
if I'm tired, take a nap. There's a thought.
It's the
No.
self-care. It's the self-care.
These things. But I mean, it's just now I'm really applying all of this stuff to sharing these experiences with my fans now, being a
Yeah.
little bit more open and pliable. So tiffanytunes.com, all things Tiff World, and from being on the road to Shadows, to the behind the scenes, to making videos, all of it. We're just living out loud.
I feel like you've found what you were trying to do so long ago, and it's just now like you are a part of it now, and I think that's incredible. Like I believe you're songwriting and producing, right?
Well, I don't really produce. I songwrite.
Mhm.
And that has been something that I've wanted to do for forever, is to be
Yeah.
a valid songwriter. It's, back in the day, it was kind of discouraged a little bit.
For
I
sure.
mean, it just wasn't discouraged. It was nobody did anything with it. So I was
It's
left on
true.
my own. So working with other band members and feeling comfortable to ask questions and write songs just because it was fun really is where I got my footing then to come to Nashville and to really be taken serious as a songwriter, to write for other people, to have a community of fellow songwriters here. You know,
Yeah.
it's that's cool. That to me is something that, you know, that's one thing off the list that I wanted to accomplish in my life, and I love it.
Do you ever I'm sorry, Kayla, Frack, do you
Yeah.
ever like do any acoustic sets in Nashville now that you're over there?
I used to a lot. Gosh, like 10 years ago, I want to say maybe. No, hopefully that'll start happening again. I'm always on the road. Seriously,
Yeah.
That's
and that's
good.
not going to stop anytime soon with TIFF takeovers. I'd love to do like again an experience where I do a dining night with a TIFF takeover.
Oh,
That's maybe on the
yes.
horizon here.
Yes.
And of course, it's Christmas time, so we're focusing on a lot of charity work all throughout the United States right now, as much as we can get involved in, and debuting some of my food there. So stay tuned again. TIFF Tunes is like every day is a new platform that I'm being given, which is cool.
Yes.
It is a cool thing. Like now that we put the
Overwhelming at the
word
same
out, all of a sudden people are starting to ring. The phones are, and I'm like, okay.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing to be that busy. I can't complain. But I just want all the best for all of the new experiences. I want them to be there at their best, and we're learning on the fly still. I'm growing the cooking club. So excited, like the production is getting better. It's not just me with the camera anymore,
Makes it a lot
which was
easier.
awful.
Yeah.
But hey, we had to start somewhere. I
That's
didn't have a clue what I was doing.
That's right. That's right. And one of the last things I want to ask you is, can you tell us about the recording process of, you in the beginning of the stages of being an artist to the newest album?
Oh, I mean, from not knowing anything about recording really, as
Yeah.
14, 15, getting in the studio. I
Wow.
was in the studio before that at like 9 and 10, actually doing professional demos, but
Mhm.
country music. So I've had extensive studio background, but feeling comfortable, especially I think for me, knowing my voice, the
Mhm.
more that I started to know my voice, which didn't really happen until I was like 18, 19 on the New
Wow.
Inside album,
Mhm.
and what I was really capable from as a vocalist. And then as a songwriter, that's kind of where it's weird. Like I write the lyrics sometimes, and then I say it the way I want to say it to you through how I
Yeah.
sing it. So it's a weird process for me, but those lyrics, of course, mean the most to me now that I'm living my art, if you will. That is my story. That's what my perception is.
Yeah, you're living
These
your
are,
truth.
yeah, definitely. So, and that connection when people come, backstage and they're like, I love, and you think they're going to say, I think we're alone now. And they're like, I love pieces of me, and I'm
Yes.
like, I love this. This is great.
Really?
All right. Yeah, so it's cool.
Awesome. Well, Denise, you have anything to add? Any
Oh my
questions?
gosh. Thank you for just being a constant inspiration to a lot of the younger generation now. I'm 33, so I grew up with you and you've always been an inspiration to be myself fashion-wise. So I just appreciate you and thank you for being on.
Oh, well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank
I
you so
hope you
much,
enjoy the
Tiffany.
new music. Thank you
Yes.
guys
Yes.
for your time.
Yes. We hope to see you on tour. Actually, that would be remarkable. Anywhere
For
near
sure.
New
Let's make that
Orleans.
happen. I will see you soon.
Yes,
Awesome.
ma'am. Well,
Thank you
take
All
so
care,
right,
Miss
guys.
Tiffany.
much.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh. Amazing.
All
Amazing.
right.
Amazing.
Sweet. Well, that
Awesome.
was Tiffany.
That was perfect. She's a wonderful soul, man.
Wow. We could not have asked for anyone better today, because that just lit me up.
Yeah, that just made my whole rest of the year right there.
And it looks like I'm really, really nervous because I'm sweating buckets, but I'm not.
I'm beating sweat right now. So
We've had this discussion. It is so hot in this room. Okay. It is so I'm soaked. And it's not because I'm nervous. It's because it is boiling mad
you
in
just
here.
need to get a fan, buddy. You need
Okay,
a fan.
I have a fan right there. And an AC. It's doing nothing for some reason in this room. You know, Denise, what is up?
How
What
are
is
you,
going
buddy?
on?
Oh my gosh, man. It's been a crazy week of me getting my first virtual reality dose. It's
Oh,
been amazing.
tell
It's
us about your
weird.
VR experience.
Frack, I've been moved to tears, my friend. I've been moved to tears because it's just so beautiful. And I am only that emotional because I think that artists, especially, need to get on VR and
Yes.
experience how art can be futuristically. And I don't
Wow.
even know. I was just watching a film, like a little short film, and it moved me to tears because I was like, dang, man, like if this is just a short little snippet of what virtual reality can be like, the possibilities are endless. It's insane.
And the most craziest thing is we met up in VR. We got to high five each other.
It was the craziest thing. You invited me to a movie. It was the best thing, dude.
Yes, yes.
It's
And
been crazy.
it's look, a lot of great things are happening in the VR world with the Frack
Yes.
and Friends show. It's and also just besides the Frack and Friends shows, what's happening in VR, it's so much bigger than we could have ever imagined 10 years ago. And it's just, it's insane. I mean, and which, it comes to another point of the Frack and Friends show. We have so many things happening for this show. It's going to blow people's minds. So many opportunities, so many people that, you know, along with Tiffany, someone I would never thought I'd ever be able to have the pleasure of speaking to, one on one like this. We have a lot of people coming on, and a lot of 90s and 2000s heroes and well-known folks that people just love, and they're most welcome to be on this show. you know
I'm just glad that they feel comfortable on this show too, and are
Me
just able
too.
to kind of speak their truths, just like Tiffany did. I think that's amazing, and I think that every kind of 90s, 2000s, 80s star needs that.
Yes.
Just a place to reminisce, but like not be so harsh on themselves. I guess
And I think that's important. I think it's important that people don't, I know there's so many podcasts. I know there's so many different people out there who just want to bash and who want the gritty and nitty and gritty and just the dirty details of secrets. But the Frack and Friends shows, it's definitely not that. And I always tell people that, especially with PR people, I say, they're like, what do you want to talk about? Just want to talk, have a conversation, have just a beautiful, positive, conversation about their life, their career, their songs, and
and what they're up to now, most
yeah,
importantly.
which I mean that's so important. Like who would have ever thought that Tiffany would be? I think she placed third in a competition on a TV show for cooking and everything. And that was just a few years back. That was maybe in like 2012, 2015. But who would have thought now, years later, this is where she would be? And now, going to concerts and getting offered to eat her food. Yes, please. Yes, please. I'm down for that.
I also love how these these like kind of 80s, 90s, 2000s artists are kind of giving like a resurgence, like a
Yes.
new chapter in their life, whether it be songs from the Umbrella Academy or from Stranger Things. We all know Running Up That Hill. All of these songs and nostalgia is coming back, and I'm glad that they're getting a chance to have their second take on what happened that was so important for us as fans too.
Definitely. You and I had an amazing conversation yesterday. I don't know if you remember, but it was all about. I'd called you and told you I was bawling my eyes out because I was listening to Hilary Duff, "Fly." The song "Fly," and it kind of brings me back to that point. Like, man, what nostalgia does to us, what these songs do to us in general. Because I mean, look, I wasn't sad. I had my dog in the car, and we were going about 45-minute drive, and and Fly comes on, and I just begin to weep because of how much I miss, this kind of music. And this, I guess it just brought me back to when I was like, 12, 13 years old.
It's simpler times, man. Much simpler,
Yeah.
where all we cared about was let the rain fall down. Like
That one was on next too, by the way.
I would have balled there. That's where I would have balled right.
That Our Lips Are Sealed by Haley and Hilary Duff.
Yeah.
Oh, I was crying for that. I'm like, there's no reason to cry. Stop. There's no reason. I mean, stop crying. But
no, you also did tell me about how you were sad about Aaron Carter though too.
Yes. For those who don't know, I'm pretty sure everyone in the world knows, every age.
Sure.
But Aaron Carter passed a few days ago, and I've said it before on this show, and I said it on the frickin' Frack show originally as well, that Backstreet, NSYNC, Britney, Christina, BB Mac, New Kids, like they're all amazing. But I remember one of the very first solo artists I've ever listened to was Aaron Carter. I remember mimicking him. I remember dancing like him. He was one of the very first that I can recall in my life that I listened to, and all the time. I had Aaron's Party, Come Get It cassette tape. The cassette tape. Like, that's how, like, hey, we going back in time here with cassettes. But, so this, I'm usually okay with celebrity deaths. Not okay, but I usually don't take it as hard as this. But this was someone that I grew up with who meant something to me. It's just like as if something like from the Backstreet Boys, God forbid something happens, like I would be torn to bits. And I'm like, just thinking about it, I have tears in my eyes now. But, it's the saddest thing ever, because as fans, as you and I, as fans of Aaron Carter, 20 years ago, we didn't have the opportunity to watch every moment of his life the way we did with his Instagram lives, and to see his struggles, to see the different things that went on, and, kind of get overshadowed by a lot of good things that he did, And I don't know. It's been really hard. It seriously has been really, really difficult processing his death. And I've always, welcomed him on the show. I've reached out to his PR people quite a few times, and just was hoping to give him an opportunity to come somewhere that's peaceful, safe, and fun, even for an hour, 45 minutes of his time. And I'm really, really sad that, we didn't have that opportunity, because it seemed like he needed that,
Yeah, Frack, I definitely feels you on that. I'm a little older than you. I'm 33 years old, and I remember him coming onto the scene, and he was about my age, around there too. And obviously before then was Britney Spears, NSYNC, all of that, but they were just a smidge older than me. So like no one at the time was coming out and like having a good time. Like Aaron's Party was the jam, dude. That on Now 7, I want to say, was a bop, dude. And all of a sudden it was cool to be like a cool younger sibling as well. Me being a younger sibling, like I loved Aaron Carter. But yeah, man, that I definitely, when I read the news the other day, I had to do a double take, because I was like, wait, Aaron Carter? Wow, dude. I knew I've been knowing that he has some issues with addiction and stuff, but man, that definitely hurt for sure.
And it was just, like I told someone yesterday, it was expected but unexpected, because it's like, I know how people are with diseases or addictions. I've had a lot of people in my life that, suffer with them, and I watch the demise, and every day it's a blessing that they're still here on this earth, but it's just so unexpected, because I was at a at STCC Comic Convention when I received a lot of messages like the building like blocked signals for phones until you walk to the front door. And so the
So
second
you
I
just
get to the
got
front
flooded.
door, I'm talking about you. It was like a police siren because it was just like, and it was everybody, from the Frack and friends and different people texting. People left me voicemails, telling me the news, and unbelievable. Like, my first thought was like, my goodness, like there's no way. And of course, where do I flock to? TMZ. and see that it's real. And I'm, even now I just can't process it. I just can't process it. And it's like someone's, like some kind of sensei has gone from this world. Like, because I learned so much, especially Aaron Carter when he was younger. I just learned how to perform from him. Like I do my little Backstreet Boys and NSYNC moves, but and so you know about this, and I even do like, what's funny is like, I do all that, but then I do like my rapping and my performance flow, like, like Aaron, so it's just devastating. And my heart goes out to his brother. My heart goes out to his family, his mother. His sister. I think the Carter family have been through a lot. They've been through,
for sure.
But, I just, it still blows my mind. I'm still speechless. And every day we're learning something new. And I just wish it wasn't like that, but it's everywhere. It's the internet, every page,
Well, it's like I was saying earlier that I'm really glad that, you are getting a lot of different 90s, 80s, 2000s celebs on here, because it does give them kind of a second chance to share their story specifically. And back then that was not really widely accepted, especially to get like help or therapy.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't accepted, but it just wasn't maybe as readily available, especially for stars. I mean, you're too busy going on tour to do any type of thing like that.
Yeah.
But it's super important, man. Mental health and doing the things that you love really makes a difference on things, man. And it just stinks that he wasn't able to get that chance, unfortunately. And same goes with like Aaliyah or Selena, like all of those stars, man. Even Amanda Bynes, she had a struggle too, but now kind of on the upswing of things. But man, being a child star is awesome, but it's also freaking taxing, dude.
Yeah, it's like I told someone the other day, I said, can you imagine doing something so great, selling 70 million albums in just, 2-3 years as a young kid, and then you're dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
You can't, your record label's dropping you, and different things. You're getting in trouble with law enforcement. And that's it. You never really truly make that comeback. Like, it's very rare you ever hear about a good comeback story. I always go back to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
The things he went through, his drug use and everything. And then, of course, Iron Man. Iron Man just brought the guy back. I mean, he had been clean for, I think, years at that time, even now, and it was a great comeback story. But I'm truly sad that Aaron didn't have a comeback story.
It's well, he's just gonna have to live in our memories for being Aaron's party, man, and
That's
kind of the more better days of his.
The one person to ever beat Shaq. Just
I
saying.
forgot about that until just
Can never forget. That's how he beat Shaq, man. Everything he did, He
was a staple at the Teen Choice Awards. Like, yeah, dude, that it definitely hurt when I found out about his passing, dude. And dude, just terrible.
Well, you know, it all comes down to, like you said, we're gonna go ahead and, you know, continue listening to his music, which I've never stopped. Just
For sure.
man, and just continue never forgetting everything that he's ever done on this earth. And like we said, our thoughts and prayers are with his family, and you know, and especially his son. You know, it's man. But what else is there, Denise?
I think I don't know. I think that's all for me, man. I mean, we can cap it off at this. I think it's a good ending point. And
Perfect.
you know, we have lots more celebs coming on. We got a lot more things going on in this future. I'm excited for this upcoming year. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Me and Frack are actually possibly going to meet, not only in virtual reality world, but in the real world. In the real,
in the real world.
In the real world.
And not the TV show. You know?
I always wanted to go on the real world.
Me, I always wanted to go on Catfish for some reason, but you don't see me doing that either, you know.
Are you catfishing me on VR? Frack, what's happening?
I don't know. All right, guys. Well, look, this is the Frack and Friend Show. This is episode 24. We also have an exclusive sneak peek of something that's going to be a part of the show very soon. That's going to be out this weekend. Tune in, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Bye, guys. Woo. Love it.